Hello guys! In this video we'll see how to add more tasks to your Grunt file and how to add parameters to tasks. And finally we'll see how to define a default set of tasks. So let's start from adding another task to Grunt. It's easy to do. Just call Grunt register task again, pass the name of the task, work, the description, do some work, and a function that implements a task. Let's write something to console to see that this task is actually being called, working. And now you can call this task from command line just like you did with the first task, grunt work, it works. You can call both tasks, greet work, just separate them with a space and you see they both are getting called. Now the next step that you want usually to do is to parameterize your task somehow. Well, at least most of the tasks need some sort of parameters. For example, if you're making a task to zip a file, you would probably want to pass as a parameter the name of the file to zip and the name of the output archive. So let's add some tasks to our do some work task. The first parameter will be who is doing work, and second parameter is how much work to do, how much. And let's print the output, make it a little bit better to show that the parameters are actually passed to the task. So who works how much. Now, to pass the parameters from a command line, you can execute grunt like the following. Grunt work, now colon pass the first parameter, who, it is, let's say, Joe, and how much will be 5 minutes. Hit enter, you see running work, Joe 5 minutes, and Joe works 5 minutes. What to do if you want to pass a space in a command line? Well, obviously you can't do it like this. It just won't work. It says task minutes not found because it thinks that minutes is the next task that you want to execute. You can just wrap the parameter with quotation mark and you'll see the result. Joe works 5 minutes just as you expected. Now, usually in your build files, you don't want to make your users, right, the ones who will run your build file, remember the exact names of the tasks that you want to invoke. You actually have some sort of default sequence that builds your projects or you run your projects, and you can define a task called default that will be run, well, by default by Grunt. So to do that, you do write register task, Grunt register task, and this task will have a name default. And the second parameter, pass the array of tasks that you want to run by default. So by default, I want to run greet, and after greet, in that sequence, I want to run a work task with Joe and 2 minutes. Notice that here, when you pass it as an array, you don't have to wrap the parameter as quotation mark, since this string describes a single task and Grunt will make its way through the syntax. So now, if you save it and run Grunt without any parameters, Grunt will actually run the default tasks in sequence, passing the right parameter. In the next video, we'll see how to parameterize your task further, how to add configuration to your Grunt build, and explore Grunt further. See you then!